Hi, everybody. How are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen. I want to talk to you today about the balance of feminine and masculine in your life. So important, doesn't have to be hard to understand. And this is something that I learn about every day. I love talking about it because it really is like a language that you learn to speak. It's not something that you read one post or you watch one video and you're like, oh, my energy's balanced. Basically, it's something that you're always learning about, and you learn by doing. That's the thing about learning how to have better balanced energy. And so the reason women talk about feminine energy a lot is because that's what is missing for most women. And if that's missing for you, it's like nothing in your life, it will make sense or feel right, and it will constantly feel like you're swimming upstream. And you can see women who live that way because they just don't understand. So it's so important. And it's not just about feminine energy, though. It's about this balance of your feminine and your masculine, because that's what it's about for everybody. Why you don't hear as much men talking about masculine energy, on the other hand, is because the world teaches us that masculine energy matters. And masculine energy is the physical world and everything you see. The feminine is everything you can't see. It's the spiritual. But both are equal, but we don't treat them equally usually, right? So this is why you don't see, maybe you see some of it, but you don't see a lot of people talking about masculine energy. You see more feminine energy, and that's kind of like a thing and kind of like a trend right now. You see a lot of women talking about, because women are basically taught to be like men. And I don't want to use like the binary genders, but I just know energetically there are those two types of energy. It doesn't mean that we can't exist on a spectrum of identity. We all have a unique blend of these energies in us. But yeah, feminine and masculine energy balance is really the goal. It's not just about feminine energy. And so how do you do that, and why does that matter? Well, I'll tell you how you do it in a minute, because again, it's something that you have to learn in layers, and there's a lot to say. But why it matters, I can explain really quickly. It's because what you're really looking for is, when I say energy balance, what you're really looking for there is you living as your real self. So you living, when I say that, what I mean is your spirit and the real frequency that you are, the positive frequency that you are that cannot be destroyed. That frequency, that pure energy, that real identity that you are, that when you die goes to heaven, that is just a pure positive spirit. What that is feminine and masculine together. It's like you're most yourself. You're most in touch with that frequency. That frequency is the strongest the more those two energies are balanced in you. Why? Because this is God energy, this is creative energy. To create, like for example, to create life in the world, you use the sperm and the egg. It's the same energetically. That's like an analogy of energy. To create, it's the feminine and the masculine, both. It's not one or the other. And it's not, this is better than that either. To create, you need both. And so that's the God frequency, which is the creative frequency, the positive frequency. It's like, that's what that is. And that's who you really are. So when you want to feel like yourself, when you want to feel like the you, and that you really exist, and that you can really feel that, and not only feel good and positive in your soul, but be powerful in the world, because this is again the God frequency, which is creative power. You have more creative power, you have more influence, You don't have to work as hard to get more results. You just have basically creative power when you're not connected to the real frequency that you are, which is that balance and comes from that balance. It's the same thing as that balance of feminine and masculine. You can try to do so many things in the world and it feels like you're almost like a ghost. Like, it's like, I have no power, I have no influence, I have no creative ability, nothing's working. And also, your energy creates what happens in your reality. So when you want to see things that feel positive to you in your reality, that comes from having that positive frequency inside. And that comes from, again, that balance, but also having your energy be clearer can also help your reality upgrade, like instantly. And so what I recommend is a combination of two things. And this is for everybody. This is for the clients that I work with. This is just for everybody who wants to self-improve. And I believe that the work I do is like on the cusp and the frontier of like new healing. What new healing, like healing in the new world time that we're in, looks like, because it's super practical. It's like as streamlined of a method as getting a facial, except it's not a physical technology like a laser. It's a spiritual technology. And I actually teach people how to do what I do. And it's not just like me making this up and like being like, trying to sell something. It's just the truth. And my work is based not in my own power. It's based in the resurrection of Jesus and the conquering of light over dark, which allows us now to dissolve negative energy because he already dissolved it all. And now it's just an illusion. It's actually really easy to clear. I teach people how to do this, and I don't force people to even believe what I believe, but people have been able to learn this because of the principles of energy. That's why I call myself the Energy Queen, because I just have been gifted with a lot of knowledge about the energy world. And so it holds so much healing power, and there's just so much to say. I feel like I can bounce around a lot of different places, but basically the things that I recommend to everybody is, if you want to be on this like new frontier of healing where you're not spending thousands of dollars and like decades of your life on therapy trying to fix problems that are really caused by negative energy, it's like going to get it lasered out. And even the people that do that with me, even the people that are getting that clearing work, I've learned over 5 years of working with people all around the world, hundreds of clients, I think even like almost thousands at this point. I've worked with a lot of people the past 5 years, in almost every continent too. Everybody needs to understand feminine and masculine energy just by nature of being in the world, because it's part of your life. And not everybody uses the same language, but it's something that is applicable and matters to all of us. This isn't just for spiritual people. This isn't just for people who talk about energy, but these principles are relevant to everybody. And for you to have better feminine masculine balance, that means having better health, better emotional health, better physical health, better energetic health, obviously, and being at that high frequency that attracts good things to you and creates positive experiences in your life, helps you feel like yourself, helps you feel that sense of satisfaction and like you're doing what you're supposed to do in life, and just that feeling of your own soul, that can get really covered up by negativity in our life, and that feels uncomfortable. And then that negative energy inside of you can lead to addiction and ways to try to escape, and it feels so unnatural to us to have negative energy inside of us. So there are a lot of ways that we try to escape that. And so those are the two things that are really important that I would say, like, that you look into, because if you can get clearer energy fast, like I provide with my method, and I don't know anybody else who does what I do exactly and who looks at it the way I do, because I live in New York. I love getting my eyebrows done. I love doing, you know, all the things. And I'm also, I just, you know, I like being really practical. And I have made working with energy like the most practical. I'm so proud of it. It's like literally like a 1 hour treatment, like literally like a lasering away of negative frequencies from your soul. And it is so powerful. And I love teaching people. And I have a student right now who is in my program. It's called Energy School. And she is now practicing Energy Queen Alchemy, or EQA. That's my method. And I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this because I'm not saying who she is, but she just told me something that really made me feel excited, because as somebody who has been through health issues myself with battling chronic Lyme disease, I'm much better now. I don't even take anything for it, because honestly, like, clearing my energy has revolutionized my health. But she said she has had like scoliosis in part of her spine, and she was actually like doing EQA on her spine, and she could feel her spine like readjusting. Like, that's how powerful this is. And it's a little bit like, honestly, something that I've worked on being transparent about with people, because I was actually a witch in a past life, which it makes me laugh to say that, because it's just funny to say it out loud, because people are like, what are you talking about? Something you don't usually say out loud, you know. But yeah, like, it's a whole part of my journey. And I think having these abilities as a soul like didn't make sense for other time periods, but in this time period, I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna try to hang me or anything like that. But yeah, it's like, it's something that I'm still learning how to really be transparent with people about, because it's something that I think that people deserve to know about, and the possibilities that exist for you, and why I'm so excited about talking about it. I'm going to get back to talking more about energy balance, but this just feels important. Like, with my journey with Lyme disease, not just that, but like so many things I had to heal from. I went through so many years of struggle and sadness, and especially as a woman, just feeling so misunderstood and so sad, and like things weren't working out, and I didn't know how to get better. And I tried everything, and I tried medication, and I tried, you know, I had a lot of really sad years where I just didn't know, especially since I was young, to be honest. I felt like maybe it was just sort of what being in your 20s was like. I was like, maybe it sucks, you know, and it's hard, and you're never happy, and you don't know how to live the life you want. And I did all the things that I possibly could. I read self-help books, and everything you can think of. I didn't do heroin. I didn't do like hard drugs, but I did everything that I really believed was supposed to heal me. And I gave it all a lot of trust, whether it was doctors or natural medicine or ayahuasca or what, you name it. Like, I was just like, I wanted to be healed that day. You know, I didn't want to waste my life and in the pursuit of healing. And it is a journey, you know. I've learned to accept that now. It's a journey of up-leveling. But I felt in my soul that I wanted something that gave me instant relief because of the pain of having negative energy inside. I didn't know that's what it was. I just knew I didn't feel like myself, and I didn't know how to feel okay. And how was I supposed to live day after day feeling like that? For real, like feeling whatever it was I was dealing with. That felt so unnatural to me, and it's so painful. And I want you to know, I understand you if you feel that way, because I felt that way. And what's painful about it is that you remember times in your life when you didn't feel that way. And that's why it's hard, because you know that it's not normal and it's not you, but you don't know how to get back to who you are. And again, that's one of the secrets here, is that learning how to balance your feminine and masculine helps you be who you are. Getting your energy cleared, same thing. But those were answers that I couldn't find anywhere. And that's why I know that I need to show up and talk about these things, because I know there's a lot of people too that talk about energy, but I feel like I just have a unique perspective. Anyway, so what can you do if you're feeling like you need a fast result and you don't want to suffer anymore? You don't want to carry that burden anymore. Well, those are the two things I recommend that you learn. The first thing I would say actually is learn. And I have a lot of videos here on my channel. I'm going to be making more. But understanding the energetic aspect of your life and how that is really what's behind this. You know, it's a bold statement to say, like, that's really what's going on. But the reason why energy and your energy is such a big deal is because your energy creates everything else. So you can do mental work and mindset work, and you can do even health stuff. Like, I went to a Pilates class tonight and I was like, I feel better. I really do. So like workouts and like eating well, all those things affect you. But the deepest level of you is your energy. And so if you're not looking there, it's like you're not gonna solve problems at the root. And even when you're getting your energy cleared, yeah, you still can like do all the other things. But it's like, if you're trying to do all the other things without addressing the deepest thing, it's just not gonna really solve the problem. And I believe this is what's missing for a lot of people. It's not like, I'm not gonna say like energy work and understanding feminine and masculine balance is like the whole thing, because we're human. You know, we live in a physical world. We do have a body. We do have a mind. We do have all these other things, but to take care of. But our true identity is our soul, and you just can't change that. And that really is, again, it's the deepest level. And so you can make very powerful changes when you go there and you shift something. And I've seen in myself, I've seen in my clients, because I watch them over a period of years. You know, I'll probably always know them through social media, keep watching them. Like, these changes are forever. Like, you don't have to carry the burden forever. And sometimes there are lessons for you to learn, and we can't just clear everything. But in my experience, you can clear a lot. And God wants us to live as our fearless, real selves. And He didn't create you to just be here and struggle. He created you to be who you really are. And who is that? And so, again, that frequency of who you really are can be covered up by negative energy. So getting your energy cleared can reveal it like a diamond. And then it's there, and it's accessible to you, and you feel like yourself. You feel like you're living your purpose. You feel like you have influence and power. And that creative power of the God frequency that's in you, because it's like clearer, it's more available, it's more accessible to you. And that's not the whole thing, though. Again, the other thing is the feminine masculine balance. So the feminine masculine balance is, yeah, it's something that is a language that you learn. And the short version of my advice is, if you're a woman, you identify as a woman, you put your feminine first in general, which will bridge with your masculine. So your feminine energy is built of 4 sub-energies: presence, pleasure, self-value, and your purpose. And so you build any of these, and you build your feminine. And those are just 4 words that were easy to say, but to actually build them is a whole other story. So you put your focus on being present. Can you be present? Do you enjoy life? how can you enjoy life more? Pleasure isn't just about shopping, it's living and connection and joy and color and fun and laughter, all the things that exist not to survive but to enjoy. Self-value. Do you have boundaries? How do you stand up for yourself? Right? Feminine energy is so much built on that. And your purpose. Why are you here? What are you here to do? What matters to you? What gives you a sense of meaning in your life? You can feel when I'm talking about these that they feel very feminine, very empowered. So you focus on those, and then you will bridge with your masculine, because the more you build your feminine, she'll give you ideas. And then you'll also have more energy because you're not tiring yourself out. And then you use your masculine energy to carry out those ideas. But if you're just work, and you don't even know what you're doing, it's difficult for a woman, because feminine energy is also receptive, and so you won't be able to receive, and you'll get burned out because you keep working, but it's like you don't have meaning behind it, you don't feel present, you're not treating yourself well, there's no joy in your life. So really putting the feminine first is really smart. And if you don't know how to build your feminine, take one of those words and just focus on that, and that will build your feminine. And then for the masculine, you put your masculine first. You can hustle, you can be work, you can be all organization and blah, blah. And then what happens with men is they bridge with their feminine. That's why you hear a lot of men saying, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, I have to get my life together. Because they want to like feel with it and organized, and then they can relax. That's like the work day structure that our whole society is built on. You work and then you relax. But that's the masculine balance, it's not the feminine balance. So finding ways to be a woman in the world is such a big deal, and something I'm experimenting with, learning about. And I don't teach anything until I've already figured out that it works. And so sometimes that's why I'm a bit quieter on here, because I'm learning a lot. And I'm learning about how to make these things practical, because honestly, like, it's a lot sometimes to be a woman in the world and to try to figure these things out. And you know, we get tired. But I know that it's true, and I know that it matters. And so I'm going to be talking a lot more about that. And I actually have sessions this summer called New World Hot Girl, because I believe that being a hot girl in the New World time, and what the New World time is about, is feminine, masculine balance, and not being in balance with masculine up here and feminine down here. It's about the equality of those two types of energy. It's about a woman that is not just all about how she looks, and knows that it's deeper than that, and does the inner work. It's just a different type of beauty. And I've seen my clients transform into more actually physical, more beautiful versions of themselves, more young. Your skin gets brighter, your hair looks different. You know, things healing in your body from having clear energy and understanding the balance of feminine and masculine. Like, it's really powerful, even for physically changing the way you look. So it's really, really cool. So I love the idea of New World Hot Girl, and I'm doing New World Hot Girl sessions this summer for 3 women that want to work one-on-one with me. If you're interested, you can send me an email, which is in the description. Before I go, I'll be back explaining more of these things. I kind of just wanted to come on and give some ideas that you can think about with your own life. But sorry. But also, if you identify as non-binary, I have a really good rule of thumb for you as well, energetically, which is you work when work feels restful, and you rest when rest feels productive. So those rules can help you, or guidelines can help you to stay more balanced in your everyday life as well. So thank you for watching. If you would like to do an interview with me, to work with me, or if you have any questions, you can email me, and those links are in the comment or in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.